Hi, I'm Scott Patchen and I'm going to introduce you to the Johari Window. I will show you how to have easier, more honest, and more productive conversations with your team using the Johari Window. Performance happens because the relationships leaders develop with their teams. The foundations of those relationships are honest conversations. So if that is your goal as a leader, where do you start? A tool I use to provide a lens for our conversations is the Johari Window. The Johari Window was created by Joseph Luft and Harrington Ingham in 1955. Its intent was to be a tool to help better understand the relationship between self and others. Let me give you a quick explanation of the Johari Window, and let's use this conversation as an example. When I meet someone, there are two dimensions of information: what I know and don't know about myself, and what others know and don't know about me. So when we bring these two dimensions together, there are things I know about me and things others know about me, and we call those open. Even in this conversation, there are things you already know about me: my name, the color of my hair. There are also things I know about me and others do not know. We call these things hidden. So you just met me, and details about my family, my education, whether I'm having a good or bad day are still hidden from you. Finally, there are things I don't know about me that others do. These are called blind spots. A great prop for this area is a mirror. When we look into a mirror, we get a different perspective of ourselves. When we engage into a relationship with others, they provide us a different perspective through feedback. There's also one area where I don't know and others don't know, and that's called unknown. And that's kind of a therapy region and something we're not going to talk about today. So let's apply this to your role as a leader. In honest conversations, the important information ends up in the open area. Here are 2 tips for moving things into the open area. For tip number 1, let's focus on moving things from hidden to open. A statement I hear from leaders is, "Why does it matter to me as a leader? I have work to do." Well, if your team does not know what your priorities or concerns are, what will they do? They will guess. You might as well hand them a magic 8-ball. If the question from your team is, "What's our sales goal for next quarter?" the answer from the magic 8-ball, better not tell you now. If performance is your goal, that's not going to work. So tip number 1, make time to answer those 2 questions for your teams when you meet. And the 2 questions are, what are my top 2 priorities this week or month? And what is keeping me up at night? The benefit? Well, a 30-year leadership veteran shared with me that when he shared the things that were keeping him up at night, often someone on his team would come forward and help him solve it. When people know what is on your mind, you provide them with an opportunity to help. Tip number 2, moving from blind spot to open. Remember, to get this kind of feedback requires safety and trust. It also takes courage from you to ask and from others to answer. So the key is to intentionally create the right space for this conversation. I recommend making time for frequent one-on-one conversations with each individual that reports to you. And when you meet, end your meeting by asking for feedback using these questions. What things do I need to keep doing? What things do I need to start doing? And what things do I need to stop doing? And then listen. A leader shared a story with me that when they asked this question, they were told to keep calling just to say hello and thank you for a job well done. He had done this randomly the previous week, and it was a blind spot for him because he didn't know it mattered so much. He does it more now. If you're a leader and this topic of honest conversation resonates with you, I invite you to watch my follow-up video where I provide more tips. I also invite you to send me questions or tips that you would be willing to share with other leaders. I will use my blog for this conversation, which you can sign up for at thetruegroup.com. Go have a great conversation.